And what is up, gang? Thank you so much for joining me here again on the channel tonight. It is Tuesday, October the 17th, 2017, and we are here tonight to talk about this week's edition of SmackDown Live. Plus, we have a very special surprise to open the show tonight, and we are going to get that all started right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of the YouTube wrestling community, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. So, let's do this, because I'm excited.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me again on the channel tonight. My name is Nick Nightmare. With me as always is my trusty tag team partner, Blue the Snowball Microphone, the world heavyweight champion of all the microphones in all the world. And we are here tonight to discuss some SmackDown Live. And never before, and I'm being honest here, never before have I witnessed such a terrible show with such an awesome beginning and end. Like, we usually talk about Raw being a crap sandwich, right? And that it usually begins hot and ends hot. But tonight on SmackDown Live began awesome because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are the greatest thing to happen to pro wrestling right now, as far as it goes in the WWE. And we are going to get to all of that, I promise. But first, something very special happened today. I got home. It was pretty late, so I couldn't do this on its own. And we're going to do this all right now. Very special for all of you who decided to check us out tonight and view SmackDown Live's review. We are going to have a little bonus right now, as we have just received our very first That Wrestling Club subscription box for the month of October, and we are going to open this bad boy for you guys right now. We usually do WrestleCrate, and those of you who follow me and have watched all my unboxings, you know how from month to month I'd be happy 1 month and then extremely disappointed 2 months, and then they'd get me back another month, and then WrestleCrate is actually awful. It's become very bad from when I began to now. So I decided to switch over, and we received our first box from That Wrestling Club. Let's do this, you guys. I love doing unboxings, and I promise to do this as quickly as I possibly can so that we can get to SmackDown Live. This is just a little added bonus for all of you for joining me here again tonight. If this is something that you do enjoy, don't forget to check out any of the unboxings that you have missed all year long so that you will understand why I switched to That Wrestling Club. I believe I have one more WrestleCrate coming, and I was going to do a side-by-side comparison, but I can't wait. I could barely even wait to the end of SmackDown, but I wanted to do this live in front of you guys so you know everything is genuine. And let's see what we got here. Is there a cheat sheet of some sort? No, I'm sure there's some sort of a theme that we're going with. And being that it's October, I'm going to guess that it's a Halloween theme. Alright, here we go. October 2017 Halloween themed That Wrestling Club. Let's check this out here. We got the t-shirt first. We're pulling it out here, and I'm happy with this one. Some of you guys might not be a cup of tea, but I'm a child of the 90s, and I loved me some Papa Shango. This is a great shirt. This is a great shirt. Definitely a step up from almost everything that I've gotten from WrestleCrate. But we're not going to bash WrestleCrate too much. We are going to enjoy this. Papa Shango was, he was cheesy, he was gimmicky, but I liked it. I didn't, like I said on last night's Monday Night Raw review, I'm a man of the macabre. I love the dark, and Halloween's one of my favorite times of the year. And man, I loved Papa Shango I thought it was great. Whether or not you did, it's up to you. Let's see what we got over here. We got... Wow! See, look at how happy I am. Look at the smile on my face. A genuine Halloween Havoc 1993 pay-per-view poster. Big Van Vader, who I unfortunately did not get to meet at the last House of Glory show. He was not there, although he was scheduled to be there. And Cactus Jack, who don't love a little bit of cactus in their lives. This is freaking great. This is going to go right up on the wall at some point soon. How great is that? I'm loving this. I'm loving this so far. What do we got here? We got some freaking Halloween candy. Are you kidding me? Trick or treat, mofo. Check this out. Got some Reese's peanut butter cups in there. We got some Skittles. My daughter will like that. I'll give her that. I think I see a Kit Kat in there. I'm all about some Kit Kats. See some Milk Duds. I don't know. I don't want to be eating little versions of Titus O'Neil's head. But, Halloween candy. I'll take it. Why the hell not? What do we got here? We got a magazine. These guys, these boxes, they love to give you these magazines. This Halloween Masked Confusion. That Wrestling Club exclusive. Some kind of comic book. Alright, fine. You know, we're going to keep getting these. I'd rather get this substantial sized, very nicely printed comic than a little teeny tiny, you guys seen, they were about this big. You know what I'm saying? The comics from the other place. Like I said, we're not going to talk too much about them. Let's keep this train rolling on. We got That Wrestling Club Worldwide sticker, which we will be proud to put anywhere as far as this box goes right now. We've got That Wrestling Club exclusive pin, as is probably, I would think maybe the Insane Clown Posse. That don't look like Doink. Definitely looks like the Joker. It's probably a crazy version of Doink, a Halloween Psycho Doink pin, in which case we could put it with the other Doink pin, which I happen to have right over here. Check this out. Alright, so we're big fans of Doink. Like I said, kid of the 90s over here. And now we got the picture over here. You guys. This is great. I'm not going to keep you in suspense anymore. Look at this autograph. Bray Wyatt. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I'm glad it's not Sister Abigail's picture and Bray Wyatt's signature. But, wow. Wow. Bray Wyatt. That is awesome. Let's take a look at the cheat sheet card here. Although that may seem a little light to you, it's a vast improvement for what I am used to getting. Let's go through it here. We have the exclusive Papa Shango t-shirt. We have the authentic Bray Wyatt autograph, the Killer Bees comic book, Halloween Havoc 1993 poster, Halloween candy bag, That Wrestling Club sticker, and, oh, that's why it was such a cool version of Doink. It is a Pennywise Doink mashup lapel pin. It's it. It's Doink as it. I love it even more now. What a fantastic friggin' box. And in case you had any doubt, there's a picture on your little card here. There he is. Bray Wyatt actually autographing a stack of pictures exclusively for That Wrestling Club, which we are now proud members of, and I cannot wait. Next month's teaser, Money in the Crate, November. Let's look forward to that. I love this box. This was great. Made me feel good. Unfortunately, SmackDown did not make me feel that good. Thank you guys for indulging me with that. Let's get on with the SmackDown Live review. SmackDown Live came to us from Seattle, Washington, home of Daniel Bryan, and boy, if you couldn't tell from the crowd reaction, Daniel Bryan is the most over superstar in the WWE. He gets a ginormous reaction everywhere he goes. Can you imagine, if you didn't see it for yourself, what this guy got in his hometown? It was a hero's welcome for sure. He definitely took a minute to soak it in, and why not? The man deserves it. He wants to wrestle so bad, and they won't let him, so let him at least enjoy a few minutes with his friends and family and his fellow Washingtonians, if that's what they're called. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Be that as it may, they were having a good time with Daniel Bryan, and he was there pretty much to announce the card. We were going to have a 6-woman tag team match featuring Natalya and the 2 worst tag team partners she could ever have, Tamina and Lana, who I thought wasn't wrestling anymore, but I guess we're not staking on that, versus Charlotte, Becky, and Naomi. How good do you think that's going to be? Whatever, fine. He also announces Jinder Mahal has some sort of announcement, and we're going to find out what it is tonight, as if we all already didn't know. We talked about it here on the channel, and it is one of the worst things that I foresee happening, and they threw a wrench in the mix. It's a very phenomenal wrench, and we'll talk about that too in just a few minutes. Daniel Bryan also wanted to address the situation with Sami Zayn. And before he could even really get much out, Sami came out with a whole new swag to him. He's kind of doing the exact same thing he was doing as good guy Sami Zayn, which kind of makes it almost more obnoxious. Like, he's not changing a thing, and he's claiming that the fans are the ones that have changed. I'm not doing anything different. I'm still a good guy. You guys don't see me that way because I agree with my friend. That's your problem, not mine. I'm still Sami Zayn. I love it. The entire interaction between Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan got very, very tense, as Sami Zayn, as most people do, was hitting the soft spots on Daniel Bryan by pushing his buttons and playing off the fact that he can't compete anymore, and that now he's a shadow of himself. And this would go on, and Daniel Bryan would finally look as if he was going to say or do something to shut Sami Zayn up, and Kevin Owens' music would hit. Kevin Owens would approach the ring and immediately join in on the pile-on with Sami Zayn and begin to just verbally onslaught. Definitely just took Daniel Bryan down with his words, and the best thing he said was that Daniel Bryan is a hypocrite and he doesn't even see it. He has become everything he has been fighting against for his entire career. Daniel Bryan is the authority. And if you look at it from a certain perspective, Kevin Owens has a point. Daniel Bryan's the man in charge. He's the one calling the shots. He's not going to give opportunities to the people who he do not like, and he is going to extend opportunities to his friends and people that he does enjoy, like Shinsuke Nakamura and Ty Dillinger, but definitely not to the likes of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. For whatever reason, this whole thing was absolutely great. Absolutely great. It would end up with Daniel Bryan telling the duo, the dynamic duo, because that's exactly what they were, that he's going to go in the back right now and he's going to find 2 people to come out and punch them in the mouth. And he's pretty sure he's going to be able to find a few guys to do that. And he would go on and search for some people to do that. They wouldn't show us the search. And when we come back to SmackDown Live, we get the 6-woman tag team match. Now, Lana is awful. Lana is absolutely dreadful. Every single shot missed. Go back and watch it if you think I'm crazy. I don't think Lana took a lick of contact in that entire match. Although she was made to look it, she's afraid to get hit. She's afraid to be hurt. She's afraid to ruin her makeup or break a nail or mess up her hair, and it's obvious in the way that she wrestles. I can't even count on both hands the amount of times I saw Charlotte Flair take a shot at Lana towards the ending of this match that missed by a mile and a half. My God. I guess all you really do need is to be good looking. You do not need a lick of talent between the ropes. You need zero in-ring skill. As long as they see that you're an attractive package, we're going to put you out there on TV, whether you suck or not. And that is not the way to be booking a wrestling show. Not that there is anybody that valuable you could have put in that spot, but Lana should have remained as the manager for Tamina, never stepping foot back into that ring ever again. And instead of having Carmella sitting on commentary, which we all know how much I love superstar commentaries, which is just a daily occurrence at the WWE, she could have been taking part in this match. Because her being at commentary did absolutely nothing. There was no reason for it. It was useless. It was just to have her on TV. And we're not even going to go back into her little puppy dog Ellsworth. You know my stance on that. If you do not know how I feel free to go back the last 2 weeks and watch SmackDown Live and hear how I just lost my mind over the fact that this man's wearing a dog collar. We're not going through it again. I don't care. This is the third, fourth, fifth consecutive week he's been portrayed in this light. And if he don't care, why should I? So we're just going to move on past that. Charlotte Flair would get the tap-out victory as she locks Lana up in the figure 8. Post-match, she would brawl with Natalya on the outside, which was the best part of this match. Natalya, a woman who actually receives contact and is tough and is not afraid to actually wrestle, took one hell of a shot to the face with a big boot from Charlotte to the outside that actually flipped her head over heels. Natalya would get up with a look of shock and awe on her face that was absolutely priceless, and then would run for the hills as Charlotte would come trailing behind her with a steel chair, looking to get the Queen of Blackhearts, and it was great. That was the best part of the whole entire match. The match of itself, Becky Lynch, she's always good. Naomi did a great top rope crossbody on Tamina. It was great. She took them both out of the match for the Lana madness to ensue. Why she was even part of the finish, it doesn't make sense. Again, nothing makes sense with the WWE anymore. And it's only going to snowball worse, you guys, as we go down this card. Daniel Bryan would come out and tell Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the back that he found a plethora of people who would love to smash them in the mouth, but he chose the Viper Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura, the same pairing we got last week to take out the formidable team of Rusev and Aiden English. Why are they a thing? I don't mind Nakamura being booked in a match with Sami Zayn nor Kevin Owens. That's great. But the inclusion of Randy Orton, again, makes no sense. There is nothing behind this. There is no story behind it. They have not told us any reason why, other than the fact that the GM says so, and that's the way the story was booked for last week, that they're a team. And now they're a team again. Why? Because Daniel Bryan liked what he saw last week? We could have heard something like that. Don't just continue to be so friggin' random with everything. My goodness. I couldn't... At first, I was just like, why? I couldn't deal with it. I didn't want to see this again. The continued ruination of Nakamura, I thought. It would not end up being that bad as we get to the main event at the end of the night. But leading up to it, I just really couldn't understand where they're coming from and why that this tag team match is the best they can do. And the best partner they can have for Shinsuke Nakamura is Randy Orton again 2 weeks in a row with no explanation. It just didn't make sense to me and I didn't like it. Pulp fashion. What can we say about pulp fashion? I do not want to continue to be so negative. but they don't give me a choice. What was this? Now, I enjoyed the Fashion Files. I don't care what they were spoofing, whether it was LA Law or the X-Files, whatever show, whatever they were parodying, didn't bother me. Because genuinely, it was funny. And usually, it was good enough to get a chuckle. It has gotten somewhat stale in its last two incarnations, and this would be no different. This segment was all about the Ascension still trying to be friends with the Fashion Police. And they brought to light the fact that the Fashion Police did not solve the case of 2B. And they very cleverly blurted out that it has to be the Bludgeon Brothers, 2Bs. And then Tyler Breeze, who was dressed like Uma Thurman, would go down to the floor and start to reenact the overdose scene from Pulp Fiction, where Uma Thurman does too much blow and ends up on the floor and has to take a hypodermic needle to the heart of adrenaline in order to be brought back to life by John Travolta and friends. This was retarded. I didn't think it was funny. It's not leading to anywhere. And now we get a to be continued. And when are we going to see the continuation? Is it going to be next week? Are you going to tell us next week and then move it to the week after? Are you going to make us wait till the Survivor Series? Like, I don't even care anymore. You showed us Breezango for a blip in the ring last week for the number one contendership for the Tag Team Championship. And now we're just going to go back to this? Why couldn't they have a match tonight? Why can't they have matches? Have a feud between the Ascension and Breezango now, because they refuse to be friends. Allow it to escalate. Let these guys do what you're paying them to do, and that's go out there and wrestle, not go out there and act like a bunch of clowns and dress in drag and act retarded and mimic famous scenes that have drug overtones on national television on this family show, right? I gotta stay clean. I gotta try to not curse so that I don't get struck again by the YouTube gods, right? And WWE wants to promote themselves as family friendly, and you choose to mimic a scene of a heroin overdose. Good job, guys. Fail. The failures would continue as Baron Corbin would come out. And as great as his theme music is, I've gotten used to it. I really like the new version of it with the lyrics. I'm digging it. But I'm not digging him anymore. I don't care how he's skirting the line of really getting good on the mic. You know, his last few promos have been very spot on. And his delivery has been good. And that continued tonight, as he would step into the ring to go one-on-one with Sin Cara and would then tease the crowd and tell the crowd, would you like me to give Sin Cara a chance and make this an open challenge match? The crowd, of course, was all for that, and he was like, well, I'm not going to do that because I make the rules. This is my championship. I'm about my opportunities. I'm not about giving anybody else opportunities, and the U.S. Open Challenge is closed, which part of me does not like. You know, I feel like Daniel Bryan should have interjected and been like, hey, listen, by the way, the open challenge part is now like part of the title, so you can't do that. And that he would be forced to have to challenge the championship to whoever might want that spot each and every week on SmackDown Live, causing friction between him and Daniel Bryan, him and Shane McMahon, and it would have been a nicer way to go about things, right? But we don't even get that. We get Baron Corbin. As soon as his bell rings, we get a little bit of action, and then Sin Cara would hit Baron Corbin with a springboard to outside, cross body, I think, nothing even that dramatic. Baron Corbin, I think, was already at a 5 count on the outside. He couldn't get back into the ring by the count of 10 after a crossbody from a guy who's about the size of a mouse compared to him. It's as if a mouse jumped on you, bro. You couldn't get back into the ring by 10. Continuing to be portrayed as a big goofball loser. Why? He just beat AJ Styles. And he couldn't get back into the ring before the count of 10 after a fly brushed off his shoulder. It wasn't even that good of a hit. Come on, you guys. You need to start using your brains. Why would you do this to Baron Corbin? I don't understand why the WWE feels that the only way to create number one contenders for their championships is by having their champions lose to said contender. I don't understand it. What happened to the days of taking wrestler A and wrestler B and going, this is a number one contenders match. Whoever wins this gets a shot at the championship. Do the rankings really mean anything anymore? If they don't, why do you even have the power rankings still up? If you go to WWE.com or, PWI, even though that's nothing but a fluff magazine nowadays, probably always was. I looked at it like the Bible when I was a kid. But now it's nothing. When you got Roman Reigns in your top 5, or in your top 15, you are not a legitimate wrestling publication. So you can't go by them. But the WWE has power rankings. What do they mean? If you're having Survivor Series come up and neither championship is being contested to a number one contender. It's being put in a useless, retarded match that the only reason I could see happening is for them to try to solidify Jinder Mahal in some way, and it's not going to do that. It's going to make us all even more irate when you take Brock Lesnar, and I don't care how he loses, but somehow he's going to lose. I believe that. I believe Vince McMahon is more invested in Jinder Mahal than he is in the aura of Brock Lesnar. Just like he is with Roman Reigns. He's got this idea, and we're sticking with it, and we'll sacrifice everything. We will throw everybody on the pyre, one after the other, and watch them burn, so that Jinder Mahal will look like the greatest champion of all time, and I will not look like a 73-year-old senile moron. Because that's what you are, bro. By doing things like this, you have truly proven that you have lost touch. And what my wrestling brain is telling me, and I'm going to say this out loud right now, is that what this proves, what these last few years have proven, is that the Attitude Era and all the things that we grew to love about pro wrestling, because we all grew up with pro wrestling, if you're in my age group especially. We lived through Hogan. We got the Warrior and the Bret and the Shawn. And then we had the rise of WCW. We had the NWO. We had the Attitude Era be born. We had Austin and The Rock and Triple H and The Undertaker. Greatness surrounded us, right? And we had this edgy, gritty television. Skirted the lines of decency every here and there. Sometimes went over the line. Katie Vick, I'm just saying. But it was there. And it was great. But you know what? None of that was Vince McMahon. This is proof. Because before the Attitude Era, when WCW was gaining traction, what did we have? We had Lex Luger on the Lex Express. You took him from a perfectly good gimmick when he was the narcissist, and it made sense, and dressed him up in the American flag because Hogan left and you needed a new Hogan. Just like right now with Roman, you're using Roman because you need a new Cena. So you're doing the exact same thing you did with Cena, and it's not working. The same way it didn't work when you did it with Lex after Hogan. And then every so often we would see greatness in the undercard. But we're not even getting that now. Most of the ideas from the Attitude Era, you can't give credit to Vince Russo for most of it. But the fact of the matter is, back in those days, The talent was in Vince McMahon's ear. Kurt Angle was feeding him ideas. Edge and Christian would tell him, hey, can we try this? Triple H and Shawn Michaels were vehemently after him to sign this Amazon woman they found in this random place out of nowhere who would end up becoming Chyna. Proving even back then that Triple H has a mind for wrestling better than Vince McMahon, because this man didn't want this woman in his company, and it took months and months and months of them just beating on him. Nobody beats on Vince anymore. Nobody says anything to him except, yes, sir. Will do, sir. He accepts ideas from nobody. He's even shooting down Triple H, guaranteed. Because there's no way you can tell me Triple H will build up Bobby Roode in NXT the way he did, will build up Nakamura in NXT the way he did, and then bring him over to the Blue Brand on SmackDown Live and watch them both burn into a heaping pile of ashes underneath the guidance of Vince McMahon and not Triple H. Look at what has happened to Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode loses to Dolph Ziggler. Of all the people on the list, to lose to Dolph Ziggler, a man that has been on a perennial jobber streak for the last 2 years. The guy's tiptoeing his way out the door as soon as his contract is up, and you make him take away the gloriousness from Bobby Roode. The man is not glorious anymore. And for some reason, when he comes out, he doesn't even feel like Bobby Roode anymore. He feels like he's trying to do something else. He's not being allowed to do what he did down in NXT, which was successful, which got him over. The sing-along with Bobby Roode during the theme. You don't need to be a good guy for people to do that. He's a natural heel. You got him walking around smiling and strutting like I got Triple H on the brain. And you got him strutting around like Ric Flair. He's not Ric Flair, he's Bobby Roode. He's got a flavor all his own, and you've seen it in NXT. Now, especially with the way they're making his robes, they're almost making him a young carbon copy of Ric Flair, and I can't stand it. Because I know the talent he possesses. I watched him grow from NXT, from when he was in Team Canada to Beer Money to when he was off the chain. Bobby Roode, I'm off the chain. And he ended up being the TNA World Heavyweight Champion for quite some time. Going up against guys like Austin Aries and burning the house down before TNA burned itself into the ground. You can't tell me that Vince McMahon has not lost his mind. And maybe, like I was saying, maybe he never had it. And what he had was a group of people with a lot of great ideas that eventually he would give in to this and that. And that's how we got everything that we loved. There's nobody there now to do that. Who's going to fight against this man? I think you need the gusto to do that. And instead of fighting and voicing their opinions, these people are just leaving. You know, Alberto Del Rio, Neville, possibly Nia Jax now, depending on if you believe what's being said on the Twitter. And we'll get to that later on this week. It's just a mess. You know what else is a mess? The Bludgeon Brothers, which was pretty much the Wyatt family without Bray Wyatt. You got the creepy woods and the whole look, the things they're saying. They look like they're missing something. You know, a leader of some sort. An eater of worlds who's doing nothing. He's facing the Pumpkin King while he dresses up like his little sister coming up this Sunday. Jesus. What are you doing with these guys? The Bludgeon Brothers. I hate saying it. I hate writing it. It's a stupid word to spell. Write the word bludgeon. And if you're smart enough to do it without looking it up, hats off to you. It's a tough word, bludgeon. bludgeon. It's horrible. I freaking hate it. Jinder Mahal announces Brock Lesnar. He wants Brock Lesnar. We talked about this on the show this past weekend. And I'm not going to talk about it any further. It's an absolute disaster. It is an embarrassment. And it makes me hate the WWE right now. The fact that you're having this match means that you truly have no idea what you're doing. That's all I can really say. They have no idea what they're doing. This match hurts everybody. No matter who wins, no matter who loses. If nobody wins, we have a double count out or a double disqualification and there's no winner in the end because they don't want either of these guys to look bad, that's going to be even worse. That's going to be even worse. Brock Lesnar has to win this match within 30 seconds or this whole thing is a farce. If Jinder Mahal lasts longer than Braun Strowman, we have a huge problem. And if Jinder Mahal defeats the Beast by disqualification, by pinfall, God forbid, by submission or anything else like that, it's going to be a very dark day on this channel and in the world of pro wrestling. And I honestly don't know what I'm going to have to say about it that night. It may just stop my heart from beating for a minute. And hopefully it kicks back on. Because I can't believe it. I can't believe it's even being talked about. And now the challenge is out there. And they already had the graphic made. You know, so obviously this is the plan and this is where we're going. Brock Lesnar's being advertised for Monday night to respond. What, did somebody get on the phone to Brock Lesnar immediately after Jinder made his stupid challenge? Jinder makes his challenge claiming he's got no further competition, right? AJ Styles comes out and I immediately start to cringe. I cringe in my seat because if they dare feed AJ Styles to Jinder Mahal and allow Jinder Mahal to defeat AJ Styles en route to this match with Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series, I'm done. I am seriously going to be done with SmackDown Live. I don't care how much I love Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It will not be worth it. I will never ever believe in anything again in this company. You cannot expect me to believe that on his best day and AJ's worst day that he would lose to the absolute failure that is Jinder Mahal. Unacceptable. And we cannot allow this to happen. And if this does happen, I urge each and every one of you to follow suit with me and stop watching SmackDown Live. The minute AJ Styles loses to Jinder Mahal, we're not doing these reviews. We're not watching the Blue Show. We're not turning on WWE on Tuesday until Jinder Mahal is gone. That is a fact. Because there's only so much I can take. They've already destroyed Shinsuke Nakamura. They are fully in motion with the destruction of Bobby Roode. Adding AJ Styles to the list, it's just going to be too much. And I'm not going to do it. Aiden English was in the back singing to everybody. And then the New Day would come out for some reason. And then there would be Rusev there. And Rusev's like, no more New Day. It's Rusev Day. And then Aiden English would start to sing after the New Day would blow their horns. The whole segment was pointless. And obviously next week we're going to have Rusev and Aiden English versus some combination of the New Day on SmackDown Live. That was the point of all that, I guess. Then we had the main event, the tag team match between the Viper Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. My favorite part of the show. Any bit or piece that had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn involved was great. This match was very good. It was not given enough time, and it was definitely interrupted by a very, very long commercial break, which was unfortunate. But we come back to the ring to see Shinsuke Nakamura getting the advantage over Sami Zayn. We had a lot of really good action in this match, but the story would be, in the end, where Kevin Owens would distract the referee momentarily just enough to give Sami Zayn enough time to hit Randy Orton below the belt with a vicious, vicious forearm right to the Viper's jewels, and down the Viper would go. He would send Randy Orton into the corner and hit him with a helluva kick that was probably the most vicious helluva kick I've seen him deliver since he's been on the main roster. Kicked the Viper's fangs right out of his teeth. My God. I was worried that he might have even had a concussion the way he dropped. It was absolutely beautiful. And that might be sadistic of me to say, but it looked great. And then Sami Zayn would pin Randy Orton to get the victory in this match. How do you go from one extreme to the next? I don't understand how you do such great booking and then have an hour and a half of show in between that is just absolutely deplorable. That absolutely nothing made sense. You're destroying Baron Corbin. You're destroying Bobby Roode. All the people you want to come up and look impressive. Right? Nakamura. Even the women's division. All entangled into one match. Again. For nothing. No ramifications to the matchup between these two that is going to come later on, the rematch. Nothing. There is nothing there for this match. The Money in the Bank holder sitting on the outside. Nothing. And then you give me greatness. Or maybe greatness is shooting a little bit. I mean, the match could have been better. But, you know, Sami and Shinsuke are great. Their chemistry is great. Kevin Owens in the ring was great. Randy Orton even looked probably the best he's looked all month, because he was actually in there against guys that were not jobbers. He's not in there against Aiden English. He's not in there against Jinder Mahal. He's in there against two of the best in the business, and Randy Orton is one of the best in the business as well. And it definitely showed in the main event tonight. So to be fair, the show opened great. The main event was great. All the way to the very end where they went to black with Kevin Owens screaming at Sami Zayn, "Hug me and hold me tight. My name is Kevin Owens. This is Sami Zayn and he's my best friend." Then they embrace at the top and Kevin's just screaming, "Hug me, hug me, hold me tight." And I wish I was there to do so, Kevin Owens, because you deserve to be hugged tightly and not by Bayley. Because you're the best thing that's on SmackDown. SmackDown Live should effectively, from this day forward, be known as the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn show. Because that's the best thing going. It's the only thing you guys need to be watching. And on a show that has Shinsuke and Bobby Roode and AJ Styles and all this talent, for it to all be wasted, and it's going to be further wasted next week. Jinder Mahal, I was afraid, was going to challenge AJ Styles, but instead he offers up Samir Singh. One of his little midgets is going to fight AJ Styles. Is that the proper use of AJ Styles' talent? Week after week you have him coming out and just talking. At least we got to see him throw a kick today. If it's not a pay-per-view, AJ Styles isn't wrestling in a match. And now we finally get him in a match again on SmackDown Live, and it's going to be against a singlet? One of the little Singh midgets? One of Mahal's minions. For what? I'll pass. Thank you very much. You're making me pass on AJ Styles. From one extreme to the next. I can't take it anymore. I don't know what else to tell you guys. That's SmackDown in a nutshell. If I missed anything out, as always, if I left anything out, you have the comment section. It is yours to use as you wish. Just be respectful or you will find yourself ejected from the game. We need to go and get some rest. We got 2K stuff, I promise. I keep saying it. We're going to have some 2K18 dream matches live on this channel. As soon as I remove all the music and stuff and do my commentary on top of it, it will be here for you. Don't forget, this weekend we have got all of your... Is it this weekend, the next pay-per-view? Well, regardless, this weekend, we have all your wrestling coverage, whether it's for a pay-per-view or it's whatever news is dropping. We got rumors of Nia Jax walking out behind Neville right now, and I'm waiting for more concrete evidence on that like we were with Neville, and still not too sure about Neville's actual whereabouts. So we will be on top of all that. We're going to bring you the news as we always do throughout the week leading up into this weekend and following. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. This was fun doing the unboxing, and now SmackDown Live, as much as it aggravated me, it left me in a good way because of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and I'm going to leave you in a good way by bidding you all a good night right now. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Subscribe if you're new around here. Become part of the Sledgehammer Club, the best club about wrestling on YouTube. You need to join it, and we need to make it the biggest, greatest club that you will ever see of all time. And I'm getting delirious because I'm tired, and we are just going to end it on that. Also, don't forget to check out Clutch Chairs. The link is down in the description below. Go check out your favorite WWE superstars, chairs, and merchandise, all right there for your eyeballs to see. Just click the link. You help me out, and I appreciate it very, very much. I am Nick Nightmare. This is Blue, the Snowball Microphone, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, and he is my best friend. Hug me, Blue, and hold me tight, because we're going to go to sleep now. I'm sorry, you guys. That's going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, available to you now on YouTube.com. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.